Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Simply Together show. How you doing, Shelley?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
Good,
How are you
good.
doing?
I'm good, thank you. Yes, not too bad. It's a bit grey out there, maybe. It's a bit wet out there, but we've got no snow, so not complaining because people have had some already. So we've got a show today, and it's a little bit different. We're talking all things washing machines. You'll be surprised. Seriously, you'll be surprised. So we went out for a little management dinner the other day. Myself, Shelley, and Dee, and somehow I don't know how we got onto the topic of washing machines.
I don't even know how that came about. No,
So who knows how we got there?
I don't know at
Maybe
all.
Dee will be able to tell us when she jumps on later. And it turns out that Shelley knows loads about washing machines. Me and Dia just sat there like, what is she talking about? I didn't know you had to do that. All these different things. So we decided we would talk about it today. So how are we starting this off?
Well, I don't know whether we started the conversation because it was the kind of some of the knowledge that you get from previous jobs that stick with you, and it's like,
Right.
why? I think that was how we got I'm not 100% sure. I used to work for Electrolux in their customer care centre, and then so taking customers' calls, but then also I then moved departments slightly, and I was doing the letters for the managing director, so all those big kind of complaints. I did get the job with Electrolux because they're based in Luton, but my husband actually works for Hotpoint.
And still does?
And still does, yes.
Okay.
So he was working for them when I worked for Lux, and then still works for them now. And he's then based in. So he used to be like a washing machine engineer, but now he's based in the offices. So you'd be surprised that so many bits are very, very similar with the two companies, but it was actually then opposing companies. And yeah, so you learn a load of different odd bits and pieces while you're talking to customers about their complaints about machines and things. When I was working there, you have got this thing of UK being slightly different to the rest of Europe with where they put their machines and yeah.
What do you mean?
If
As
you
in where
say
in the house?
where in the house, yes.
Okay.
If you're in apartments in, for instance, France, your washing machine will be in your bathroom. Your washer, dryer in the bathroom, because while you're taking your clothing downstairs to wash in a kitchen where you prepare your food. That's just one oddity.
Okay. Okay.
Way back when with washing machines, the UK was the only people that would actually have a hot and cold water intake to a washing machine.
Oh, good.
But if you've heated the water in your hot water tank, you're heating the water again in your washing machine. And you've just drained all your hot water. So if you wanted to have a shower and a bath or do like other bits and pieces, you couldn't because all your hot water's gone into your washing machine, only for it to heat back up again. So
Okay.
yeah, that was only a UK thing, which was weird. Rest of the world and now most machines nowadays is all just cold water into their washing machine. But some of the complaints that we used to get is or the comments, I should say, not necessarily a complaint, was how is that eco? It's gone on too long. It goes on longer. My old machine used to be able to do X, Y, and Z, and it's not doing the same. I'm not getting the same results, or it's taking longer. What are all these newfangled bits and pieces? one of the conversations we had to see how many different cycles do you use on your machine.
3, I think, possibly 4.
So out of roughly 12 to 15 cycles that you've got on your machine, that you could possibly have on your machine,
Yeah.
the majority of people will only ever use like the 4, possibly.
I've got 16. There's 14.
Yeah.
There's 14. I had a look. There's 14. And then there is just a rinse on its own and a pump out on its own. So in essence, there's 16, but there's 14 numbers on there.
Yeah.
And I use 3 or 4.
Because and did you know if you're actually using the right ones?
It's probably not.
And how do you sort your laundry?
Oh God.
How many different piles could you have of laundry sorted?
Well, I do the darks. I do the colours, which might be light, but it might just be colours. And then there might be white. And most of the time, that's about it.
That's about it. Do you have the biological powder, non-biological powder, or don't you know?
I buy what's on offer. For years, for a number of years, I used to buy sensitive because of skin complaints.
Yeah.
Not mine. You know, them sensitive children that you have, them ones. Yeah. So bought sensitive for a long time. And then now I just buy whatever. I don't buy anything in particular. No, seriously. I think the only thing that I do the same every time is at the minute I'm using liquid. Whereas, I don't know, a few years ago I was using the capsule things, and then I've used powder. I literally just go with whatever. I've got no preference.
So not even like, so you'd be brand jumping, and also you're not sure if it's biological, non-biological.
Yeah. No. It depends how much money my shopping's come up to before I put that in. If I've spent too much, then I might get an own brand. If I haven't, then and there's one of those named ones on offer, I might buy that. Literally, I don't care. I just buy whatever. Other than, oh God, other than the really cheap ones.
Right, good.
And I know anybody watching and really struggling and everything else, you know, I get that. But ultimately, I'm not buying the most expensive, because I very rarely buy the most expensive of anything.
Yeah.
Middle of the road is where I go. Might be named, might not be named. But yeah, I'll hop along depending on what.
So I will always have biological and non-biological washing.
2 lots?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the bio powder or liquid has an enzyme in it, and it's for biological stains. It can get killed at higher temperatures because it is an enzyme that's in it, and that's the reason why it's not in the sensitive products, because it can be like an irritant. Bio also then has bleach in it, which is then another killer, like a stain killer cleaner. So I'll always use bio on, and this is where we ended up with this conversation earlier, the other day, I should say, that I'll always use bio for my towels, my tea towels, my bedding, and my socks and pants. Now,
so
at that point,
hold on. Let me
just Lee and Cecile on the opposite side of the table both look at me and go, socks and pants wash.
So people out there, Shelley does a wash just for socks and pants. Now, let us know you're there. Tell us you're there. Say hello. Say hello. But also tell me if you actually do a socks and a pants on their own wash. I've never heard of this in my life, ever. So I need to know if people do that. So go on, Shelley. You're doing socks and pants.
So socks and pants go in a bio powder because it's got the enzymes in it for biologicals, for cleaning. And it also then goes in a hot wash. So on your machine, when you do a hot wash, it will go through a lower temperature with the washing, and then the temperature then goes up. So a bio powder will then have the enzymes kick in, and then the higher wash, it'll then, with the bio, will have a bleach content in it, and that then kicks in on the higher temperature. And then the high on some machines, I mean, mine's got a steam function on it. So if you think
she's
when
got a
you're at
steam function
hotels,
on her washing machine. Never heard of that either. Who's got that?
When you're in hotels, it's always the white cotton sheets, isn't it, that they have in hotels?
Yeah.
In their laundries, they only ever do a very, very hot wash. So it will get rinsed in a bio detergent. It then goes into a hot wash with the bleach, keeping everything white, keeping everything as clean as possible. The bleach in there to make it then go back to white as much as possible, and a steam. It then goes into their dryers, which are steam dryers. So it tries to then stop like with the creases and bits. So if you've got
a steam dryer,
yeah. So when everything goes wet into your dryer,
yeah,
it's got a pump in it, and all it is just like a hairdryer with a drum, basically.
okay.
So it's heats everything off. But what with the sheets and things in those big industrial things tend to reuse some of that water, so it creates steam in there. So it dries and then steams, and it gets all the creases out.
Okay.
Well, it helps get the creases out, I should say.
I'm just putting that out there again. Do you wash your socks and pants on a wash on their own? So the other part of the conversation was hi Rita, was how are you doing who's ever got a full load of pants and socks, for starters? Secondly, is that a half wash? Is there a quarter wash? How many days are you keeping these festering, and saving them till you've got enough to wash? How does that work?
So on my machine, my old machine used to have half wash. This machine I've got has got an auto wash, so it knows how much the clothes have soaked, so stops them extra water going in, and then the detergent is then going in and does what it needs to do, and then you condition a cycle. So it knows how much is in the machine by putting the water in until it's then soaked. So if all the water in the machine soaks into your clothes and then is then free, so you know where you see it in the drum, it knows that, right, okay, that's enough water for those clothes. So it does like it's an auto clean on it. But some people don't even use that. They would put half a load in, put a wash on, and end up with all this extra water in there that they don't actually then need. And then, of course, with that, the heater's gone on to heat up the water that's then in there. Because what a machine is doing, there's a wash circle, if you like. So there's heat, water, detergent, and agitation. That is all the cycles in the machine are ever doing. They're putting, the heater goes on, the water goes in, the detergent goes in, and you get an agitation. Depending whether you've got a wool cycle, you don't want the water as hot, and you don't get as much agitation. You've got a delicate cycle, which is then even less agitation and not much of a spin. Or you've then got like a hot water cycle of cottons, where cotton fabric can keep being battered around for so much, then you get a higher agitation. The drum will go backwards and forwards differently. And everything then works out as like a balance between your time that the cycle is, how much energy it's used, how much electric is used, how much water it's used, and what your performance results are at the end. So an eco wash, right back to when we first started talking about this, an eco wash will take longer because it doesn't use as much energy, it doesn't use as much water, but it needs to agitate enough to give you that clean performance result. So it's going to take longer but use less energy to give you that same result.
So I think for some people, they would think if it's an eco wash, it's not going to take as long. Whereas actually it takes longer.
It takes longer to give you that same result.
Yeah. But it's not using as much energy.
If you're just using, as an adult, changing your clothes once a day, it's not that dirty. If you, I mean, I can understand the kids are in and out of puddles and everything else. If you've just got like a normal adult wash, you could just put that on a quick wash.
Yeah,
quite a lot of your machines have got like the quick wash, so it's a low temperature, low time, because the clothes aren't that dirty to get them clean in the first place. It only needs a bit of a wash.
Okay. So I don't know if anybody out there who is listening has realised that Shelley did not answer the question about when is she washing these socks and pants? How long is she keeping them festering for? And she didn't answer that. She just gave a whole lot of another information. Did you see that, Dee? She didn't answer it. How long are you saving them for? A week, 2 weeks.
It'd be half a drum. So that's then during the week, like the week and a bit. They all then go in. But I might have and this is what completely freaks Cecile out, I might then put my tea towels or my towels in with it. They're all getting washed in a biological.
Yeah, and that's where it all just kind of fell apart for me, because you're now holding on to the pants and the socks. And then you're going to put the towels, not so much, but then you're going to put the tea towels in there that I'm using to dry my crockery for my dinner and my knife and fork in with the pants and the socks. I don't get it. I don't get it. What's Rita saying? She turns them around. What, like this?
It's also, yeah.
I think you're on mute, Dee.
I think, is your headset
Is it your headphone?
Funny?
Can't hear you.
No, I can't hear you now.
Take the plug out. These newfangled things, you see, headphones.
Yeah. No, I don't know whether it's not even crackling. I don't know whether you've got it plugged in properly. You find that she's got the end somewhere.
In the other hand. Yeah. Oh, are you turning them?
She's not even plugged in.
Still can't hear you. Nope. No.
Why she works that one out?
So are you Rita? Are you asking if Shelley turns the pants inside out so that?
I said, so we use them. I'm talking about washing them. I'm not talking about I need to keep them longer.
Well, she's saying about you're turning them inside out, and I'm thinking you're just turning the stinky pants inside out. Can't hear you.
No, cannot hear you at all, Dee. She's going to try and log on something else. Going back to washing powders while she's fiddling around with that, the bio, you can't then, on your darks and things, please don't use that because it has got the bleach in it. So it will then bleach out like your darks and your colours, which is why nowadays you have like a colours detergent as well, because it's then got no bleach in it at all. But if you've got any real dark jeans and stuff, always wash them inside out. So then if it does affect it, the bit that you're wearing is then on the inside.
Yes. Yeah.
And talking of jeans, always make sure that your zips are up. I've had
Why?
so many. Oh, as your washing machine's going backwards and forwards, the zips will catch on other items of clothing and rip them.
Right.
Yeah, always make sure zips are always up. Please make sure there's nothing in your pockets. My husband has gone out when he was working on the road. Will said he could put his hand in a drum and you can tell when there's been coins and stuff. But this guy had actually left nails or screws in his
Mm.
pockets, and as the spin cycle went round, it had gone through the hole in your inner drum
Oh,
and got to the outer drum, and then created a hole all the way around the outside.
wow. Wow.
It literally just made, yeah. So always make sure there's stuff out your pockets. Bras, the underwire bras, I always put mine in a washing bag or pillowcases, because those underwire bras can either come out, like the underwires can kind of come out and go into the drum. So it either snags up the drum or it goes into your pump. Yeah, causes quite a lot of problems.
This just sounds like a lot of work to do before you even put them in the washing machine.
No, because by the
There's some
time,
time for that.
as I've worn them, I put them into their washing bags.
I haven't got a washing bag.
But of your pillowcase. If you've got
Okay.
something that's hand wash, put it into a pillowcase and put it on your gentle wash. Please don't come at me if it damages it. That's, if you want to get past all of that, that's what you could do. Because a hand wash garment, because it pulls out of shape, if it's in a pillowcase, it's kept together, so you shouldn't pull so much. Also, talking of if things pull out away, if you've got like woolens, for instance, like something like this,
Yeah.
and it shrunk, put it into lukewarm water with hair conditioner,
Okay.
and let it all soak in. Pull it around a little bit, dry it on a flat surface, and before it's dried, if you slightly pull out the fibers, it might go back.
Wow. I didn't know that.
It might go back. The thing, like, I think one of the things that you and Dee were looking at, like, saying about the fibers and bits and pieces, towels. Use less conditioner on towels. What the conditioner does, it actually soaks into the fibers of a towel. If you've got that much conditioner on it, it'll actually soak in and coat the fiber. So it will make the towel feel really hard when it comes out the tumble dryer. Or if you've dry it on the side, especially, it will come out, it'll feel harder. And it actually makes it less absorbent, because all the conditioner's done is soaked into the fibre like it's supposed to. And if you've got a really fluffy towel, it's just soaked in the conditioner. So your towel will be less
Oh,
absorbent.
okay.
And
So,
you do get caught out with that. With conditioners nowadays, quite a lot of them are the smaller bottle, and it's
double concentrate.
double.
Yeah.
I even picked up one, that went to pick up one the other day, and that was 4 times concentrate. And I was
Right.
like, it's easily done because it's still the same kind of liquid. It's not like thicker and making you think, oh, actually, no, I've got to remember to not put as much in. So please, with the dosing of the conditioner, dosing with your detergent as well. If you have got liquid or anything in this area, you put a little bit more in. So you put a little bit more in if it's extra dirty, but you put a little bit more in because we're in a hard water area.
So is that Limbury area? Is that Sunderland
Luton.
area? Oh, Luton as a whole.
Bedfordshire is a hard water area.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. If you live in a hard water area, you'll need a little bit more detergent to make sure it gives you the best results. So you might need to dose it up. But no one really reads it, but it is on all of the detergent things on how to dose.
Who reads that? You just take that cap off, you just put some in, and then you just put it in. That's it. Who actually
Yeah.
reads that bottle? Does somebody out there tell me, do you actually
Until,
read that bottle?
until until you've actually put too much detergent in on a really small load, and you find that all the foam comes back out. Yeah. Until you've done anything like that, then yeah, well, you've learnt the hard way.
But
You've
like
learnt the hard way.
Rita, I don't do a really small load. I do a load when I've got enough to not fill it to, but
Yeah.
there's enough in there. And maybe do you know what? I'm gonna try the socks and pants once.
And yeah, it's like I do it with the hot. If you've got something that's
Isn't that gonna shrink? Firstly, I don't think I've done a hot wash in I don't know how many years.
right,
Because it says on the bottle you
yeah,
could do
because
that on a
it's
40.
the 30, yeah, yeah. Because most of them have changed now, so they go down to 30. You always used to be 40, and then a hot wash. I mean, it's not a boiling hot wash, so the hot wash is then a 60. My socks and pants and bedding and all that is then a 60. The only time I use the hottest wash is on a maintenance wash. I bet you have you ever
I'm
done that?
sorry. What does that mean?
Like, what I'll say this now. Everyone's heard of Calgon.
Yeah.
It's this additive that you put it in. It's a preventative for hard water areas. If you're using it from when your machine is new, it will prevent that build up of all your lime scale, and it also then helps with some of the slime that comes with part of the lime scale. You don't need to use it if you're doing a maintenance wash. Now, maintenance wash is normally a bio, liquid, powder, whatever, and the hottest wash possible. You can buy some of the washing machine cleaners
Yeah.
that do the similar thing, but if you've got a bio, powder, liquid, whatever, just chuck that in. Hottest wash possible, nothing in it at all. That will then clean your machine, and where it's hot, so that would be 80, 90 degree wash. It will then clean out any nasties that are actually then breeding in your machine. If you've got a funny smell in your machine, that is all of yeah.
Is that the pants and the socks?
No, it's not the pants and the socks, because the pants and the socks have always had a hot wash, so they've got rid of all their little nastiness. But yeah, so that maintenance, really hot, keeps everything clean. Wipe around your like the door seal. Some of the newer ones nowadays have got an anti-macrobiological enzyme in that seal to stop it. Remember back in the day, you used to get all your little black marks, like the
Yeah.
mold kind of look. Yeah, that was sort of all those kind of nasty bugs getting into that. Give that a quick wipe round. Always leave the door open to let your machine dry out all on the inside, and then you can just close the door after it's sort of like been a couple of hours where it's dried out. But don't ever leave the drum damp. So after your washing machine's finished, you're taking all the washing out, don't ever close it just on that point, because that's all the damp and just breeds it. And then when you smell it, what you're smelling is is all of that kind of stuff that's then going on, breeding all that kind of slime and whatever else.
So
Can I just say, well, as I've been saying about doing maintenance, slightly off topic, but it's a safety thing. Your tumble dryer, if you've got one, always make sure you're cleaning your lint out. Even if you've got a washer dryer in which the part of the wash dry cycle, it will sometimes try and clean itself out. Always find out where your filter is and clean it out. All that lint needs to come out. There is some technical stuff behind it that I know what's kind of like going on. Hotpoint did a thing where they put an extra piece of machinery in some of the dryers to try and stop some of this lint. But all machines are the same.
Okay.
All especially dryers, they are always just a drum, a heater that blows out air or recircles air. The fluff that comes off of your washing, and it will do, it's not just, it doesn't need to be just like a fluffy material, anything, the lint will come off. That then gets caught by the filter. If your filter's too thick or it's a problem with your filter, it'll actually bypass that and go round where the heater is. And that
Oh,
is what is catching light.
right.
And it also makes sure that your machine's working at top whack. You're not leaving the machine, having to put the machine on for longer because it can't circle the air round because you've got a load of fluff in your filter. But that is the point. That's where things catch light. It's that fluff around the heater. Or someone putting something stupid in a tumble dryer that they shouldn't. I had
Like,
one, kids' football shirts, as in like the replica.
oh no, they need to, as soon as that's a
Nylon.
delicate wash, and then put them on a
Nylon.
dry or something.
You put it into the tumble dryer, and of course it just was storing up heat until the fibre then sets fire.
Yeah.
So everything all went in the
No,
in the drum.
They're too much money to be putting them on anything like that. You need a quick little wash, and then they need to dry because they cost
just
so
go straight
much.
on the hanger, hang up. They dry on their own on the hanger. You don't need to do anything else to it, and they dry really quite fast because it is that kind of material. Yeah.
I remember you saying something about I said about the colours running.
Yes.
And you were trying to explain to me that they won't if you can mix them up a bit.
Yeah. If I've got something that's kind of like newish, I will put one of their like the colour
catchers.
Colour catcher, yeah. And that would just, because all it's then doing is the dye's coming out your clothes, stays in the water, and it will just attach to something, whether that's the thing that's next to it or whether it's a fibre that wants to soak up all the water, it will take in all the dye as well. Quite a lot of dyes and things nowadays tend to be part of the fabric. So where you was going back to socks and pants, we had a conversation about, don't your pants kind of like go darker? And I said, well, no, because the kind of material that it is, that will not leak out the dye in the first place. So it won't lose any of the colours. Some of it's the cottons and it's the jeans, that kind of material in which you will then actually have the colours bleed out of. So my jeans will always go in lock on a dark wash together, but some of my whites and my lights will all stay together because I know that that's not going to have any colour transfer or anything.
So, lovely people out there, I still need to know, because Rita's there, she hasn't answered. I know Dee doesn't put pants and socks together, but I need to know who does their pants and socks on a separate wash, possibly with the tea towels. No? I need to understand that, because I'm big grown ass woman now, been doing washing for a long time, and never knew that was a thing. But what I'm taking from this then is I need to use my what do you call them?
All the different cycles on there.
Yes,
and quite often you get the cycles and you get you can add things onto the cycles sometimes as well. You'll have extra buttons and things on there that you can.
Yes, I do have. I don't press them. I just leave them. So I need to use those cycles a little bit better. What's she saying no for?
Socks and pants.
Yes, okay. I need to use those buttons. I need to get 2 lots of washing liquid, a coloured and a biological one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to pay out for those little
Hold
tubs of
on,
stuff that you put in.
Nah, just do your maintenance wash.
Okay.
Maintenance
Okay.
wash, I tend to do once a month if I remember.
Once a month. I do about once a year.
Yeah, they always used to say once a month, but if you're, yeah, it's just every now and again. If you remember just to do it, it just washes on its own. But then I do the washing machine and my the dishwasher at the same time. I'll whack them both on hot wash. Just they're washing themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, just so they're actually then washing themselves.
This has been absolutely fascinating, as Dee said, absolutely fascinating. Who knew that there was all these things that you should or should not be doing with your washing machine, you know? And do I need to go and buy myself one of those all singing, all dancing, gonna talk to me things? No.
Mine beeps. I have had some friends that have got those ones that will then start doing different things, and I was like, no. I've put a couple of bits in on the in the chat there. Ariel was always one that they used to produce actual booklets about how best to wash your clothes and different bits and pieces. So even if you're not using like Ariel's products, you can actually then go on to like how to wash clothes and how to use your washing machine and stuff. They've got a lot of information on that Ariel website there.
Okay.
Because he's even talking about how to like it's describing fabrics, for instance, how to look after your washing machines and the different problems that you then might have, because you might end up with like your water not pumping out on a washing machine, and you've got clothing in it and your engineer's not going to get there until next week sometime. You can, if it's not doing your wash cycle, hopefully you can push it round onto that pump out bit. At least you can then get the water pumped out and then all of the clothing out of it. Because I don't know if you ever left clothing wet for any amount of time,
they're going to smell like those socks and pants.
Yes, they stink to hell. It's horrible. And we have actually had people send us stuff that's had a problem with their machine, or they believe there's a problem with the machine, and for some unknown reason they decided to send their clothing to us.
Oh no!
We've got it done. Yeah, and that came through in the parcel, and it was like, oh
no, that's disgusting. The things that people do just so they can get something repaired and hopefully for free.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So firstly, we need to get Shelley on Mastermind. Specialist subject is washing machines. Yeah, it is nasty, isn't it? Sending in your dirty washing to the company just because you think the washing machine is broken.
Silly things like the clothing's got caught in the rubber ring and stuff. It's possibly, if not always, because you've overfilled the machine.
Yeah.
You should put all your stuff in your machine and put your hand that way, so it leaves a gap between the top of the clothing and the top of the drum.
Really? That's how much of a gap you need to leave.
Because then it then allows the clothes to move around and clean properly. If they haven't got that space to move, the water's it's you're not getting the agitation part of it. You're not getting that kind of. Are you now been overfilling your machine?
What makes you think that then?
So going back to my socks and pants, can you see I'm not filling up the whole tub?
Yeah, but see, that's why I was asking about the socks and pants. What are we doing that on a half wash? What are we doing that? Because,
Yes, if you've got a half wash or if you've got an auto wash, but you can put it in on a normal wash and it will, they'll have room to move around just that little bit more.
wow. So I need to not overfill. I need to get 2 different lots of detergent. I need to do
You'll
a
find that most stuff,
maintenance.
yeah, you'll find that most stuff you'll do on a normal colours wash
Mhm.
anyway. It's only the bio when you then got like your, as I say, my socks, pants, and bedding and stuff. So I'll always use less of the bio than I do the other stuff.
God. Need to do up the zips.
Yes.
She's got a list.
Always check
Have
your
you got a
pockets.
list of things you need to go and buy now, Dee, so that you can do all of these things? So we need to do up the zips. We need to put the bras into either a bag or a pillowcase.
Pillowcase. Delicates can go into pillowcases.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You put it. It just stops it from going to anywhere else. So it's, if you've got your hand wash, I've got a couple of tops that hand wash because they've got, it's like a lacy kind of
Yeah.
material. And all it is because when you've got an agitation in a drum, it's going to keep pulling the fibres around. So yeah, I just put that into a pillowcase in on a delicates wash, so it's just washing enough. There's enough drum movement to make the detergent do what it's meant to do, and it spins off really, really slowly, so it's not pulling anything. But the pillowcase is firm enough that it, or I've got washing bags, so it's like the
Yeah.
little holdy
Yeah.
bags. It's not pulling the material; it will pull that material around, and what's in it is then safer.
I just had a thought. So those little tops and things that my daughter wears that are about that wide.
Oh yeah, the little cami
Could
tops.
go in. They could go in a bag or into a pillowcase.
Into a pillowcase, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Because
I
quite
haven't learned
often
so much.
it's not the fabric that needs to be. I mean, some of the silks and bits and pieces, they need to be hand washed because it's the temperature that the water's going to get to as well.
Mm.
But if you've got like the little cotton cami tops and stuff, the temperature's going to be fine. It's literally because it's the whole pulling kind of thing that the drum's doing.
Thank you, Shelley. Thank you so much. That is just information galore, absolute information galore. And as I've said, from Sunday, who knew? Who knew that's what you were supposed to do? Who knew these things? Shelley knows them. And that's why we've done that on the show today, to share all of that information. And if you've got any questions, pop them on our page. Shelley will respond, because obviously only she knows the answers, because we don't. We have no clue. And yeah, so thank you for doing all of that. That's brilliant. So
it's one lot of information that you pick up from work. Like the other thing that we used to then have, especially for this time of year, was how big a turkey can fit in any one of our particular ovens. You'd have a list.
Oh, because they've got ovens as well. It's not, they do washing machines, dryers, fridge freezers, ovens.
AEG,
Right, okay.
Hot point, Indesit, Canon, Creeder. Because you're one big main company, white goods manufacturers have got all their different brand names under their umbrella. But yeah, this time of year, the list used to come out, print them off onto everyone's. So it is like, if you needed to know that your this size turkey is the biggest one you can get in your oven.
That should be in the book when you get an oven delivered. Not that I read the book, clearly, as I've already said, I don't read those things anyway, but that could be in the book. Information that you need to know. Your oven is going to be big enough for this size turkey. Oh, God, really? But no, we want you on mastermind about the washing machines, because you've got loads of information about the washing machine. So Anybody got any questions, just send them in. Shelley will respond to them. Dee and I will just laugh at the questions because that's what we do. Because again, who knew? And
can I just say, we were not drinking.
Exactly. This wasn't even an alcohol-fueled meal. This was a very civilized meal where we were talking about stuff, and then it just went on to this topic. Absolutely amazing. So tonight is the Real Talk Show. 7 till 10 ish.
Whatever. Yes.
Whenever. I know Real Talk Show, yes. So we've got Leisha on there. My lovely Remy is on there. We've got Lolly Bailey on there. And we have got Courtney from IMD talking menopause and lots more. So get yourself on there. 7 o'clock. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Anything else we've got before we go?
No.
Because I need to put some washing on.
Yeah.
I'm a bit scared.
No, it's just life in a lockdown. You've got the deets on there that are not this Thursday, next Thursday. But that's already then to people to register on.
Yes. And then we're rolling into Christmas.
Yeah, this is the season of silliness.
But that wasn't by choice. It just happened. It just happened like that. So yeah, anything else you want us to talk about over Christmas? You know, is there anything you need to know, or you want to pick somebody's brains? You know, just drop us a message. Let us know. So on that note, I am literally going to go and put some washing on. And yeah, I haven't got a bag and I haven't got a different washing liquid, so I'll just have to use what I've got. It's fine. It's okay. See you all next week, 12 o'clock. See you then. Bye, everybody.